Today in Lesson 25 on the Sacraments, the 7 rivers of life, Sheen continues this concept of grace. What is grace? Grace is some gift that God gives us, and to change us from the natural life into living into the supernatural life. I think of a story when I was a child, when I was a kid. I'm number 12, number 11 in a family of 12, and when we got toys, we usually had to use our imagination. And I think of the movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and I remember growing up and seeing that movie and really enjoyed it, and I thought to myself, man, it would be neat to have a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And I look at this story of the sacraments, or Sheen's explanation of the sacraments, about moving from the natural into the supernatural. And I think in my life, when I was young, with having received the sacraments, my Chitty Chitty Bang Bang could move, it could do things. I was living in that state of the grace the sacraments bring, moving you from the natural into the supernatural. But it came a time in my life when my Chitty Chitty Bang Bang wasn't running anymore. And I thought to myself, well, maybe I could take it apart, and then I could use my engineering mind, and I could build a solar array, and I could call down the nature of the sun, and maybe the natures of science would turn back my Chitty Bang Bang on. Oh, I got it to work, but it never worked like it was before. And then I was going down the road, and I ran into this hitchhiker who he pulled me over and asked to give him a ride. He said if I invited him in, that he could help power my Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I thought to myself, so what can this hitchhiker do to my Chitty Chitty Bang Bang that science, that engineering hasn't been able to do? He rolled up his sleeves and he showed me his hands, and there in his hands, there was light and there was blood. And then he pulled up his shirt, and where his heart was, there was this light. There was this blood and this water that was coming forth. And I said, what is that? He said, it's power. He merely touched it and touched my Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and it began to purr again. It began mysteriously, miraculously to move. And we were going down the road of life, me and the hitchhiker. And I remember the day when he said, I want to take you and show you my mother. And I said to him, there's no room. And he said, sure there is. And we pulled over to the side of the road, and there she was. And he invited her in, and he opened a seat. I never knew it existed. And she got in, and we got in together, the hitchhiker, the mother, me, and the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And we went down the road of life, and she said, I want to put up a roof, a mantle. I want to put up a roof on your Chitty Chitty Bang Bang because it's going to rain. I said, it doesn't seem to rain. He said to me, listen to her. She can see things that you cannot see. And so we did. And there we were. And soon enough, it began to rain. And then he said, pull over. There's someone there on the side of the road of life. Their Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is not working. And so we opened the door. He went. And I said, now what? And she said, let's pray. Let's pray for an hour. And we did. And within the hour, he was back in, and we were back on the road. And now, we went through this process time and time again. And one day he got in the car and he said, listen, the road is going to end. And I said to him, road is going to end? He said, yes. And I said, then what? It will come up to a cliff. You can no longer go any further. And then it did. And then we looked. He said, look to the left and look to the right. And I saw a line of Chitty Chitty Bang Bangs to the left and to the right. And I said, what are they? He said, those are the ones that we stopped on the side of the road that you prayed while I helped them. I said, now what? He said, well, we're going to push a button, the red button called faith. And we did. And all the Chitty Chitty Bang Bangs outspread their wings. And they floated into the sky. To home, to heaven. God love you.